What's up guys, I'm Sean. I'm in the process of installing these Bay Area Metal Fab hammer hangers, aka shackle hangers, and this is the heavy duty Shackles from Bay Area Metal Fab, and these are the shackle hangers. So it's a lot of work. It took me about 2.5 hours to do one side. I cut off half of it to make it easier to get to those rivets, and there it is. I drilled out the holes to 1/2 inch. I just have to paint it. And the bottom holes right there. One thing to note about the holes on the bottom is that these washer and rivet, it's tack welded on. So even though you cut off the head on the bottom and you try to press it up, it's still tack welded to the sheet metal of the spare tire. So you want to make sure you take a look at that, cut it off a little bit. I didn't have to remove the OEM leaf springs, so it's less work. Kept the U-bolt flip kit, didn't remove that. I just unbolted the rear, and I use a cutting wheel to get to cut off the head of the rivet. So here's some of the special tools. Cutting wheel, I use about 3 discs per side. I recommend having 10 discs. Here's a tool I rented. Here's a backup tool I rented. Obviously a good drill gun with some 1/2 inch step bits and more bits. And this is really useful as well. Punch kit with a 3-pound hammer. So I mixed up using that with the drill, the cutting wheel, with the ball joint press. So definitely a lot of work. The hardest part is done, removing the rivets. I use the ball joint press, chisel and hammer, cutting wheel, it's different techniques. Then you draw out the hole to 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch down here, and down right there. And the rest is just straightforward. Just gotta paint this so it doesn't rust and bolt everything back together. Bay Area Metal Fab HD Shackles. It comes with a Zerk fitting. This is my own cap. I'll put a link in the description. But I pumped the Zerk fitting with some grease and it oozed out the sides. So these two are ready to go, along with the shackle right there. Here's the hardware all laid out. Every bolt comes with 2 washers and a lock nut. 2 of these go to the shackles. 2 goes to the shackles, 4 of these go to the shackle hanger to the frame, 4 goes to the shackle hanger to the frame. Here's the shackle hanger for the passenger side, and here's the HD shackle. So it slides in like this. The gusseted side goes towards the rear of the truck, and the Zerk fitting goes towards the front of the truck. I'm going to put this shackle on first. The heavy duty shackle is in. Now it's time to pair it with the BAMF Shackle hanger.
foot, hold the shackle hanger, leverage, tap it in. Yeah.
Now it's time to line up all the holes to the frame. And I think it's easier to install the bottom bolts first, going up, because there's less play that way. I have swivel head with a 3/4 just to help force it up. Yeah. Alright, this bottom bolt is loosely installed. This one as well. This bolt was really hard to get to because there's no room, but my swivel head worked. And again, it's not just the shackle hanger and the frame, it's the tire mount sheet metal behind the frame that you can't see. That's what makes it tricky, because you have to go through the shackle hanger, the frame, and that tire carrier. So you have to go through 3 pieces of metal to get it to work. Torque the 4 bolts to the frame to 80 foot-pounds, the 2 on top and the 2 on bottom, 80 foot-pounds. Then I'm going to jack up the rear diff to simulate the truck being under load. And then I'm going to tighten the shackle bolts to snug. I reached out to Jerry at Bay Area Metal Fab, and he says Guten tight, which is another word for German tight. If you torque these two to over 100 foot-pounds, it's going to be so tight that the suspension is not going to be allowed to flex. So I'm just going to make it really snug once I put the suspension under load. Alright guys, that's a wrap. Bay Area Metal Fab shackle hangers and HD shackles have been installed. It didn't change the ride height, and the ride feels a little bit smoother. I wouldn't say it's night and day difference, but it does feel a little bit smoother. The most important thing about these shackle hangers are that it's really beefy compared to the OEM. If you're rock crawling and falling off rocks or boulders, the OEM ones are stamped steel that can get smashed, but these are super solid and beefy, so it's going to be stronger than OEM, and it should provide a little bit more articulation, and it looks cool. The installation was a lot of work removing the rivets, but it's definitely doable without a plasma cutter or an air hammer. It just takes a long time. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.